Hi, today we're going to make vegetable curry, and this is a really tasty curry dish. It's spicy chickpea and red lentil curry. This is a really delicious recipe. It's all vegetarian, but it's really yummy. Okay, so it's quite a lot of different stages, but it's quite simple to do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to chop an onion up, and we want to chop it quite fine to get it in our pan. So we're going to chop it quite fine. There's half an onion. Get it in our pan and chop the other half. And we're going to add to this 2 stalks of celery, and we're going to add a green pepper. Now if you can't get a green pepper, you can use a red pepper or a yellow pepper. So get that one in. And then we're going to chop up our celery again quite fine. This is quite difficult, it's quite a low table. So we're going to chop up our celery. Now you can peel the celery with a peeler just to get this kind of fibrous bit off the celery if you want. But with this recipe, because you're going to cook it for quite a while, it doesn't really matter so much. So we've got our celery. Move my garlic out of the way. So we'll get our celery in. Chop that onion up in a minute as well. And then we're going to chop our green pepper, and again you want it quite fine. So and it doesn't matter how roughly you chop it. So we chop our green pepper, chop a bit more. Okay, chop him up. So hopefully you're following along doing these recipes and trying them out. And this is a really tasty recipe. We sort of searched high and low. My daughter found this vegetarian curry recipe, and it's a really tasty recipe to do. Actually really healthy as well. Put a little garlic in. Okay, so we put that in, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put a bit of oil on there, and then we've got to cook this for about 12 minutes, because what we want is the onion and the pepper to really soften, and it's going to reduce right down. Okay, and the celery, and it's all going to go really soft. But we've got to cook that for about 12 minutes. And that's not going to make a very exciting video. So here is one which has been cooked for about 12 minutes. And as you can see, it's reduced, it's exactly the same quantities, and it's reduced, and it's all gone quite soft. So the celery's gone really soft, and the onions are starting to brown. So that's been cooked for about 12 minutes. Okay, what we're then going to do is we're going to start building up the contents of the curry. So I'm going to put the heat up. Okay, now we're going to use red lentils here, and they're red lentils from a packet. Basically all they are, they're just dried lentils, and you just put them in a bit of water, leave them to soak for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then just drain some of the water off. So these are our red lentils, and we're going to put our red lentils into our mix. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of the water left. Okay, so we put our red lentils in, and we mix them in with our onion, pepper and celery. And what we're going to start doing now is we're then going to start adding the flavour to the curry. Okay, so rather than use a curry mix, we're going to make our own curry. Okay, so we'll leave that in, and that's going to slowly cook. Okay, now this is a little spoon, this is half a teaspoon. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons of garam masala, which is like your kind of curry mix. So and I've got to use 4 of these because these are half teaspoon ones. Okay, so we add 4 of these. So it's quite a kind of spicy red lentil curry. We're then going to add a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Okay, so if you go a little bit overboard, it doesn't matter so much. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of coriander. And to give it a little kick, we're going to use some chili flakes. Now if you can't get hold of chili flakes, you could just chop a chili up. You could put some cayenne pepper in. This is what's going to give the curry a real sort of kick. And chili flakes are quite reasonable. They're not expensive. And we stir those in. This is where you'll start to get the real smell of the curry start to come through. So we stir all those in. So that's it, get it all mixed in. And then we're going to add a little bit of tomato puree. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons of tomato puree, which equates to 2 probably big splodges, maybe 3, maybe a 4. A little bit of tomato puree, doesn't matter if you put too much in. And then we're going to mix that all in. That's it, get it all. It's really good. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to add to it is we're then going to add some stock, and we're going to add some vegetable stock. So we've got a vegetable stock cube, and we're going to add 700 mils of stock. So what we're going to crunch up the vegetable stock cube, and it's got just some sort of herbs in it and a bit of salt and a bit of pepper. So I'm going to add some boiling water. Now this is a 500 ml jug, so I'm going to need to add a little bit more afterwards. Okay, so we bump up the heat. Okay, I'm just going to stir that. Okay, get that in. Start to sizzle. And a little bit more water. There we go. And what we want to do is we're then going to add some chickpeas. Now, chickpeas in a curry are really, really delicious. So we're going to add a tin of chickpeas. I'm going to drain them. Chickpeas are really, really cheap, really, really good for you. So we're going to add our chickpeas into it. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring it to the boil, mix it all in. I've never been to India, but I'd love to go to India. I've always wanted to go, and I imagine when you walk through like the markets of India, this is what it would smell like. It's really delicious. So we're then going to bring it to the boil, we're going to pump up the heat. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a lid on it and leave that to simmer, and it will simmer away for about 20 minutes. And what will happen is the lentils will start to absorb some of the moisture and really fill out, and start to cook. So we'll bring it to the boil, we're going to put a lid on it, and then what will happen is that will just cook beautifully. You can leave it longer, but it takes about 20 minutes to cook. I'm going to put that over here, and then when it's cooked, so this whole house is now full of curry. This is what it starts to look like when it's cooked. I'll turn that one off. You need a big spoon. So you'll see that it's turned into kind of like a dal, and the lentils have absorbed all of the liquid, or lots of the liquid, and that's a really beautiful spicy curry. Okay, and that took about 20 minutes to cook. It doesn't take long to prepare all the ingredients. Now I'm going to have that with a bit of rice. I'm just going to put the rice on very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to use rice. You could put it on a naan bread. You could just have it as a bowl of curry if you wanted. It's totally healthy. It's got lots of protein in it, lots and lots of nutrients. Totally vegetarian. Well, I'd already cooked this rice. Oh, that's hot. Okay, so I'm using instant rice just for sort of speed. So I'm just going to put a little bit of rice on here, not too much, just to show you what it's like. Spread that rice out. Okay, and then put a little tiny bit on here. Now I would serve it with a little bit of coriander. So what I would do is I would take some coriander. I'm using a pair of scissors. I'm just going to chop up a little bit of coriander. And you can put coriander into the curry as well. Coriander gives it a really nice flavour. Take that stalk out. So that's how I would serve my curry. I'm going to use a spoon. So, now because you've got those chilli flakes in there, it gives it a little bit of a chilli kick. A little bit of a spoon. It's probably quite hot. It's so yummy. Has got a bit of a kick. That's a spicy lentil and chickpea curry. Really good for you, really tasty, easy to make, totally vegetarian. I think that's a really delicious curry to make. And then you could do that, and you can have your pancakes for afters. Get cooking. It takes about 20 minutes, but you can leave it on cooking. You can start it, and then you can reheat it later for dinner time. Enjoy making this curry. It's really, really yummy. Very simple ingredients. It's quite cheap, really wholesome, and delicious and tasty. And get downloading the recipes and send in some photos of your cooking. Keep cooking. Okay.